Well, we come back up to Nobles Hospital. As you know, some time ago we were talking about how all the records were going to be digitised, and that process is going ahead as we speak. And in fact, Greg is with me now here with what is some demo, I have to say demo information only, so no confidentiality problems. But this is what happens after the files themselves have been digitised.
That's right.
And this thing, I mean, we just followed you out from the somewhere down there in the hospital. Quite portable unit, I love that for starters. But I mean, I'm more interested, of course, in you telling me what it has brought to the party to have this information now digitised.
Yeah, so the main benefit really for the clinicians is rapid access into the health record. There's no more waiting for the record to be found, no more trying to trace it from a different site. But also the fact that I can be in the record looking at the same information as a colleague at the same time, which obviously you can't do with the paper record.
All known about the trolleys that go along Nobles. Miles and miles of these every day with information that sometimes doesn't end up in the right place. That's
right, yeah.
Going now as this comes online.
We'll access the records digitally.
What can you show us about this then?
So there's different ways of getting into the software. I'm going to look at a recent patient that I've already picked before, but I could have a clinic list. I could be looking at a ward list, so I can filter the patients down quite readily, or just search from some demographics on the patient. So this brings up the medical record in full. We're looking at lots of coloured thumbnails here. It was important to us that we scanned the record in colour. For clinicians, they can readily identify documents just by scanning small thumbnails of them, so I can hone in on the relevant part of the record. On the left side of the screen here, it shows the record in context. So this is looking at patient episodes, care episodes, how they've interacted with the hospital. And on this side, it will give me the relevant information to that care episode. So again, I can hone in a bit quicker on the information that I'm trying to find. On top of that, I can add in filters to filter out certain parts of the record. So if I'm only interested in the correspondence, or I'm only interested in ECGs, I can set up filters where the system will recognise and just display that information for me.
So if you open just one of those, you can open. I mean, it's just literally the scan you see on the screen.
It is.
Like,
yep.
So it's like these are letters, aren't they, mostly? And
these are letters. So if I open that one up,
yeah,
and you can zoom in and out of them, move them around. What's brilliant about it being digitised is that when we scan them, we also recognise the characters. So OCR, it takes a snapshot of the text that's on that document, which I can then search. So if I've got all my correspondence open, but I'm actually interested in, say for example, jaundice, and I search for the term jaundice, it will then only filter down the documents that contain that word and also show me where on that page it is.
So explain to us how much faster this is and easier this has made your job.
Oh, I can't even quantify it. The record is immediately available for me, and I know exactly where I'm going. I can search. Just being able to search text is a massive enhancement.
So before you'd have to go back to the people holding the records and ask them to try and find
the record, get it transferred to my department, then try to filter through the record, often misfiled. Or even missing altogether. So, I
mean, is this cutting edge, or is this pretty well the standard everyone's got? I mean, where are we on this technology?
No, this is pretty cutting edge. There's not many hospitals that run digital health records like this one, so we're certainly leading the way.
Now, you don't just need this. I know you've got your iPad there, so you've got that remoteness around the hospital. You can just have that with you.
Yeah. So this is accessible from any of the fixed terminals around the hospital. This is obviously a mobile cart, but even this sometimes can be a bit clunky to get into certain clinical areas, so we can run it on mobile devices like this as well.
So, okay, we're seeing demo stuff here, but is there some live material actually you're using yet, or is it still in the test phase?
No, we've moved out of test phase. There is live material and obviously the live system, and that's running perfectly well.
So this is it. This is where eventually all those records, and we've seen, my goodness, some records, that eventually that'll all just be not needed because it's all
there'll be no more paper record. The archives will be closed.
And if people are being treated elsewhere, like say they go to Liverpool, would you therefore send this information over as needed and securely?
Yeah. If Liverpool requests information, or any other hospital trust in the UK for that matter, we can transfer it electronically and therefore securely. Not only that, when the correspondence comes back from that site, it will be filtered back into this record and consolidated.
Fantastic. Just now need them to finish the scanning, because it's quite a long process, isn't it?
Yep, it will be a long process, but we're getting there. We've made a good start.